Well, number one, it was really shocking, and it was an absolute honor to receive such an award, an induction to a National Hall of Fame in upstate New York.
If you know Anthony Servidone, then you know that his induction into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame's upstate New York chapter was never sought out, but it is greatly appreciated.
You reflect back with where you started, and a lot of thoughts go through your mind as to where you started and where you are now. So it gave me a lot of good memories and time to reflect when I got the news.
Not because it shines the light on his accomplishments, but because it gives him the opportunity to talk about and thank all those who made this day possible.
Obviously, it starts with family. You know, I have a great foundation of family that's very supportive. I couldn't ask for anything better. And then the people I was able to have the opportunity to associate myself with through the sport of wrestling, the likes of Joe McCabe and Joe Benna and Joe DeMeo, and the guys I coach with, Jim McHugh over the years, just a tremendous friend, and Bob Crane and Joe Denisio and Mike Marriage and Brandon Lapp. I just was very fortunate to be around some very good people. And throughout the years, the families that I've met have been just tremendous, and they've been in my life for a very long time.
What makes his induction even more special is that most of it is based on his work at a place that means everything to him, his alma mater.
I had zero intentions of being a coach. I knew when I got out of high school I just wanted to be a college wrestler, and I wasn't even sure what field I wanted to go into. So a few years later I happened to come home, and my cousin needed a ride to the high school homecoming dance. My mom was working at the school at the time. She said, make sure when you pick up your cousin that you come in and meet the new principal. He's from my hometown, and I'd like to introduce you to him. I said, sure. So she introduced me to him, and goes on to tell him that I was a former football player and wrestler there. And as soon as I said wrestler, he stopped in his track. He said, wrestler? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we desperately need a coach. I said, I don't know anything about coaching. I'm only in my third year of college. I don't know if I could help you. He says, well, we're about ready to drop the program, and if you could at least come interview for the position, we would certainly appreciate it. So I spent some time over the weekend thinking about it. I was like, geez, I don't know if I could do this, but I said, what the heck, I'll give it a try. Yeah, I'm still here today. It's just been tremendous, man, because I know the history of the program, and we were never a very good program. We always had a lot of fun. It wasn't a sport that was, in the limelight at Columbia. But once I had the opportunity to get involved in it, it was a job that we, as a group, we wanted to, have the program succeed. But to reach the levels that we did, and I say we because it certainly was a we thing over a lot of years, it's just been tremendous. I can't even put it into words, the excitement and the family that we have built over the years.
Still coaching and still at the top of his game, Anthony is also the junior director at New York USA Wrestling, but might not have been if it wasn't for a Capital District legend who saw something in him that would help grow the sport in the state.
Jeff Blatnick, obviously, I didn't even know who he was until 1984 when he won the gold. I knew that he trained in the same club I was in, Atwa Wrestling Club, under Joe DeMeo. Then he went on to bigger opportunities in Colorado. But when he won the gold medal, that was huge. And then he came back to the Capital Region, to the Burnt Hills area, and I got to know him pretty well then. And he approached me about getting involved in New York USA Wrestling, which I thought, wow, this is coming from a legend to ask me to get involved. So I was really taken back by that, and took him up on the opportunity to get on board with that staff, and I'm still there today.
His resume is about as good as it gets. National tournament titles, state champions, you name it, he's been a part of it. But it's the relationships developed off the mat with the kids he's coached that matters most to him.
Yeah, absolutely. When you see the ex-wrestlers or my students outside of the school structure, and you see them, you haven't seen them in a long time, just for them to recognize you, and that they give back a little, or they tell you what they're doing, or what profession they're in, or they introduce you to their kids now, it's really special. It truly is. And and a lot of them will come out and tell you the impact that the sport or my coaching staff and myself has had on them, and that's really, really meaningful to us. That's very special when you get that phone call or that card or now that text or someone contacts you on social media. It's humbling. It hits you in the heart, and you really take a step back and say, you know what, these are the reasons why you coach. You know, we all want to win state titles and, you know, national championships, but when you get that special person in touch with you to reach out and say, thanks, Coach, for all you've done for me, even my family, that really hits home.